What is up, YouTube? Ncaa 31 here. Another installment of my 3-3-5 stack breakdown series. This is part 3, going over the 3-3-5 across formation. 3-3-5 across, as you can see, it's called the across formation. It's because your defensive backs are lined up across deep. Your strong safeties are aligned with your corners and your free safeties off the line of scrimmage, and you have your defensive linemen and linebackers stacked. As you can see, based on the alignment of the formation, this is a formation that's best used in must-pass situations. In a must-pass situation, this is the formation that I'm in out of the 3-3-5 stack set of plays most often, the 3-3-5 across set. A couple people have asked me about audibles. As far as audibles, I leave that up to you guys. I mean, everyone plays with different teams. Every team has different strengths and weaknesses. Like with Notre Dame, Notre Dame isn't a very strong, man coverage team. So I only have one man coverage audible. Their top two corners only have man coverage ratings in the low 80s, which is, okay, but not enough to match up with, on a down-to-down basis with superior receivers. And the safeties only have man coverage ratings in the 70s, and none of my corners are very good at press coverage. So if you have corners that are rated in the mid 80s or 90s in man coverage and press, you're going to be calling, much more man coverage plays. If you have safeties that can play man coverage as well, you'll be calling even more man coverage plays. So, and you'll have more man coverage in your audible. So, generally I have a audible for man coverage, one man blitz, a play action rollout stopper, and a safe deep coverage type of play. And that's pretty much what I do with Notre Dame. And again, your style may differ, and you may have different sets of audibles, so I leave that up to you guys to figure out what you want to have your audible set as based on what type of team you're using. So the 3-3-5 across set. Cover 2 man, you have simple base play. Cover 3 base play. Cover 2, I follow the same rule with cover 2 as I do with the 3-3-5 stack set. I only call this if I'm playing against a guy who is just determined to pass to the flats and in the red zone because of how the free safety is aligned. And since I control him, I don't want to be on the hook for controlling all that deep space by myself, because the linebackers are, as you can see, are going a little bit wider, and it's just me in there. So the less ground I have to cover, the better off I'll be, and the less chance I'll have of making a mistake. Strong safety dogs is a good outside run stopper, if need be. Middle blitz, good A gap heat there, good up the middle heat there. Cover 1. Crash 2 is, I follow the same rules as I do with cover 2. This is more of a change up to that, where I bring a little bit more heat to the cover 2 look. OLB fire, another good outside run stopper. And the strong safety dogs will also stop the rollout passer, as well as OLB fire, depending on how athletic your linebackers are. Against most scrambling quarterbacks, I'll do the trick. Monster green, you have an overload in the A gap there. Okay for spread between the tackles running, not very good for power sets. Dog gold, same thing to the left side. And you have your deep safe cover 4 there. Let's go over what a couple of these things look like against the computer. Let's run middle blitz against an inside handoff. You see the weakness there. We're not very, stout in the box there in this set. You can bring your safeties up by showing blitz, but if they get by that first wave there, you're going to have some issues. You see, there's nothing. There's no second. There's very little support there in the box. But if you get some penetration, you can blow up some, runs from non-power sets. Shotgun pass, random play. Now let me show you what I did there. What I did here was spread the defensive line and pinch the linebackers to give them a little bit more space to operate in. And one guy comes in free. Empty backfield, not enough blockers. Same thing happened here. That time I tried to overload a side. By shifting and slanting the defensive line and linebackers. And they cause enough pressure to force nothing but an underneath quick throw. Strong safety dogs, outside handoff. Sometimes you get some formations where you have some screwy alignment things going on, but not often. See, in some power running situations that might happen to you, but against a finesse spread type formation, you can get away with sending the two strong safeties from the secondary. Strong safety zone blitz, I really like this play. This is probably the zone blitz that I run the most. This is such a deceptive blitz. You get a lot of pressure and more protection than you think. Let's get the defensive line. Both defensive ends are dropped back, but you have two linebackers coming in, as well as both your safeties. Defensive end drops back to a hook. Flat area is vulnerable to some extent, obviously. Covered, for the most part, in position. Flat area is open. This is a third and long play. Covered, and I'm here as well. So in a long yardage situation, this play is ideal because it sends a lot of guys in there quick. And he's not going to have a lot of time more often than not to get the ball there. have the linebacker dropping back also. Make sure I have them aligned, well to get them in the best coverage position as possible. Look at the coverage that you have behind that pressure. It's not bad considering how many guys are coming in there. Coverage here by the linebacker, by one of the linebackers. Coverage there on the defensive end. And this is why having athleticism on this defense is so important. Because it just really opens up the playbook and lets your guys do a lot of things and causes a lot of confusion. You'll have defensive linemen, getting interceptions, linebackers swatting in to get interceptions from angles that your opponent doesn't really expect. It's kind of like, Buddy Ryan's 46 defense. Buddy Ryan said the 46 is designed to create the illusion of pressure when there is none, and the illusion of no pressure when there really is some. And when you get it dialed in, you can do a lot of things to people. So those are some common plays that I run out of here. The rest are pretty much duplicates of the 3-3-5 stack set. LB cross 3. We've seen that before. Double X is self-explanatory. Cover 3. So that's the 3-3-5 across, used best in passing situations. Cover 4, good for the prevent type of situation. You have the spy in there for scramblers as well. And if you have athletic defensive ends, only the Denard Robinsons and T. Pryors of the world are going to escape them. If you have guys that are athletic at the ends plus the spy there, and you have good flat coverage there, so a scrambling QB is not going to get very far. If you have the athletes up front in your front 7 or your front 6 in this case rather. So that's a 3-3-5 across, and we have the Okie, the split, and the bear coming up. Peace.
A little laundry on the field, and we'll find second down. Can't find anyone open. Throws on the move, and it's intercepted. Great catch.
Over and over, and he'll be fine.
He's changing things up. He fires left side.
The pass was incomplete. Number 84 is the intended receiver. Third down.
Here's a throw, and it's almost picked.
It's always big when you can get in the way of a pass on third down because the offense is bringing it.
And he's tackled in the open field.